What's up guys, the Strong Boys 19 here. Hope you are doing very well. I just want to make this little video to not only bring back the intros that I used to do for my videos, that I'm actually really proud to download random videos with those intros to keep the creativity going, but I just want to make this video to address things that I want to bring back up on the channel. So I know that I have not been making videos on these few segments that I have mentioned a lot that I just didn't do. So that makes me, to me, a bit of a hypocrite, to be honest with you. I have mentioned numerous times that I am going to return back to classic albums revisited and as well as requested albums. I've been thinking about it a lot lately because now that I'm pretty much done reviewing new releases of studio albums for this year, I now want to return back and think of moving into what I love to do in reviews for other segments. So for Classic Albums Revisited, I am going to be reviewing Freedom by Neil Young, and I've mentioned that album before, and yet alone that I've been on a bit of a big Neil Young phase again recently, so I want to cover that album. And for requested albums, there were a few other comments that I did not forget at all. I'm going to be doing an album reaction to a much older album, and I got a request to do a reaction to the first Candlemass album, which I did buy on CD, but I actually have not listened to it yet. So I'm going to keep that idea of doing album reactions for older previous releases than just new albums. And also, I am going to continue on to do reviews on incomplete discographies. And there are two bands at the moment that I really have to get back to. The first one being the Beatles, because after my review for Please Please Me, I did these two reviews of With the Beatles and Hard Day's Night. However, I, over time, was not very happy with the overall result, but I did re-record these separate reviews as separate videos, and they were actually recorded many months back. So I'm going to post my re-reviews to return myself back into the Beatles discography. The other band that I need to come back to is the Megadeth discography. I know that Megadeth have released a brand new studio album. To some of you guys that will be asking if I've heard it, I actually did not listen to it. So I want to come back to that band and review the albums from Risk and onwards. Maybe not do a re-review of Super Collider, because that album, for many fans like myself, I will say did not age very well over time. It's been pretty much like one of those forgotten and less talked about albums. I am going to be reviewing other albums for other bands. Mastodon is coming back, and I want to do reviews on Metallica's discography. I know that Metallica has been one of the most over-reviewed and talked about bands like the Beatles, but you know, it is my channel and I can do what I want. And by the way, guys, have you listened to Metallica's new song that just come out yesterday? I really liked it. It kind of makes me think of that speed metal type of direction into the songwriting. The only negative that I will say, I did not like the sound of the drums and the way it was mixed, because the guitars and the vocals were the main important parts for any song, especially for metal music, but the drums were, to me, a bit too loud from the way they sounded. That kind of buries the sound from the vocals and the bass and the guitars just a little bit too much. So anyways, let me know what you think of that new Metallica track in the comments down below if you want to. So yeah, that pretty much sums it up for this a little ramble. I apologize that I keep saying that I have decided to return back to these segments, but didn't do them. But I will promise you guys this time that I am going to do some more reviews for classic albums revisited and requested albums. And also, I'm going to be doing one of these last reviews for EPs, because I'm going to be reviewing for a bit of the new Radana EP that had been released, listening to a few more new albums, and then I'll be doing my lists of my favourite albums of the year, and as well as the other list of the disappointments / worst albums of the year, and the list that I have mentioned previously on my community section post that I'm going to be potentially do a redo list of my 25 favourite albums of all time, because now that I've listened to a massive load of different releases and different genres, you know, I just want to make, like, to me, probably my definitive list. So that is pretty much all I would like to say for this video. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll keep you guys posted for more videos in the near future.